This program contains violent content which may be too intense for some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
October 2nd, 2002, 16-year-old Tabitha Shuck Raines went missing after leaving her home in Tipton, Indiana. No one had heard from her by the following morning, which was out of character for her since she always checked in with family to see how her son was doing and to let them know where she was. By the next evening, family and friends were extremely concerned as to where she was. A missing person report was filed with the Tipton Police Department, and the search for Tabitha started. Tabitha was married to Michael Raines and had a 6-month-old son. They lived in a triplex along with Michael's mother Roberta and his sister Sandy. Tabitha's parents Buffy and Mark, along with her siblings and other family members, were searching for her. Tabitha was last seen on Wednesday, October 2nd, when she asked her mother-in-law Roberta to watch her son. She told her mother-in-law that she was getting a ride to go to the hospital to visit a friend's gravely ill grandmother. She told her mother-in-law that her friend's boyfriend was picking her up. On October 5th, 2002, Tabitha's body was found lying face up in the Cicero Creek with a single gunshot wound between her eyes and other injuries to her body. For the past 20 years, Buffy and Mark have been fighting to obtain the truth about what happened to Tabitha on that fateful night. No one has been convicted of her murder. The family of Tabitha has been searching for justice for all these years to learn recently that prosecutor Jay Rich from Tipton closed Tabitha's case when he was unable to convict one of the suspects he had and obtained a battery charge against another. After this defeat, he dropped the charges against the third suspect he had. That is because Jay Rich's depiction of what happened that night are flawed, and there was too much reasonable doubt that the theory he concocted against these 3 individuals actually happened. Tabitha's family and friends want all parties involved in her murder charged and convicted. My name is Marv, and I'm the advocate for Tabitha Shuck Raines and her family. Together, we are bringing you Tabitha's story on my YouTube channel, True Crime with Marv. We are continuing her story by providing a 2-part podcast type video. This is the statement of Michael Raines from October 5th, 2002. The parts of the detectives are being read by my sister Paula, and I am reading the answers and responses given by Michael Raines. The next part, the deposition of Michael Raines, will be out soon. Thank you for joining us on True Crime with Marv. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel to hear the rest of Tabitha's story. Transcript for Michael F. Raines, Case 0210-3616, October 5th, 2002, by Michael F. Raines, Detective Gary Stout, Detective Frawley.
Testing 1, 2. Test 1, 2. Okay, we are at Tipton City Police Department in Tipton, Indiana, Tipton County. Present in the room is Detective Sergeant Gary Stout with the Tipton City Police Department. Also, Detective Tony Frawley with the Indiana State Police has stepped out of the room for a minute. But he will be in on this interview. Michael as well. So I'm going to put his name on the tape. You're aware that I have a tape recorder in front of you. Is that correct, Mike?
That's correct.
Your full name is Michael F. Raines, spelling last name Raines. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And you live at 429 Northeast Street, Apartment B, in the city of Tipton, Tipton County. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Your age is 19.
Correct.
And your date of birth is 5/4 of 83.
That's correct.
And your social is that correct?
That is correct.
And today's date would be 10/5 of 02, and the time would be 10 p.m. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Michael, you're aware that I have a tape recorder going at this time. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And I also told you prior to talking with you that you had a certain rights, and I wanted to give you those rights prior to the interview. Is that correct?
That is correct.
At this point in time, I haven't read those rights to you yet. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, those rights are that you have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say could be used against you in the court. That you have the right to an attorney present during any questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one would be appointed for you by the court before any questioning. If you decide to answer questions now without an attorney present, you also have the right to stop answering anytime. At any time until you talk to an attorney. Do you understand those rights?
I understand.
Have I threatened you or Mr. Frawley, threatened or pressured you or coerced you in any way to come in and sit down and talk with us this evening?
No, you haven't.
And you're aware that the investigation that I'm along with the Indiana State Police working is the disappearance of a young lady. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And what's her name?
Tabitha Shuck Raines.
And is Tabitha Raines your wife?
Yes, she is.
And do you know her age?
She is 16.
And do you know her date of birth?
11/12/85.
And does she live at 429 Northeast Street, Apartment B, in the city of Tipton, along with you?
Yes, she does.
Okay, I've just been motioned at the door to step outside. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And the time would be 10:02 p.m. by my watch. Is that correct?
That is correct.
I'm going to stop the tape at this time. And then we will start it back up after I return in the room with you. Is that okay with you?
That is okay.
We're at the Tipton City Police Department. Today's date would be October 5th, 2002. Present in the room is Detective Sergeant Gary Stout with the Tipton City Police Department. Also Detective Tony Frawley with the Indiana State Police. Also a young man by the name of Michael F. Raines, spelling the last name R-A-I-N-E-S. Address 429 Northeast Street, Apartment B, Tipton, Indiana. Age 19. Date of birth 5/4/83. Social. The time would be 10:30 p.m. Michael, I've advised you that you had a certain rights, and I was going to read those rights to you prior to any questioning. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Have I questioned you in any way prior to those rights being given to you?
No, you have not.
At this time then, at 10:30 p.m., I would like to read those rights to you. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court. You have the right to an attorney present during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one would be appointed before you. Any questioning. If you decide to answer questions now without an attorney present, you would also have the right to stop answering at any time until you talk to an attorney. Do you understand those rights?
I understand.
Are you willing to talk with myself and Detective Frawley with the Indiana State Police?
Yes, I am.
You're aware that I have a tape recorder in front of you now. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Have I threatened you or Mr. Frawley threatened you or pressured you or coerced you in any way to come forward for the purpose of taking this taped statement?
No, you have not.
The investigation in the disappearance and the death of who?
Tabitha Raines.
And who is Tabitha Raines?
Tabitha is my wife.
And do you know her age?
She's 16.
And do you know her date of birth?
11/12/85.
And how long have you and her and Tabitha been married?
Since February 3rd, 2002.
And do you have a child?
Yes, I do.
And do you know what that child's age?
He is 6 months come Monday.
And his name?
Drake Kingsley Raines.
And where do you work at?
I work at Burnett's Service Center in Kokomo.
What's your hours there?
7:10 to 12:30 Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5 Friday, 8 to 12 Saturday, off Sunday.
And do you also go to school?
Yes, I do.
And what school is that?
Lincoln Technical Institute.
And where do you go to school at?
Indianapolis.
And what time do you have to be at school?
I gotta be there by 2:15.
On what days?
Monday through Thursday.
Monday through Thursday. Did there come a time that your wife came up missing?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
I had come home Wednesday to give my mother money. She pays my bills for me. I took Tabitha to her first day of GED classes.
And when you came home, you say you came back to Tipton, Indiana?
Yes, I did.
And you went to your address?
Yes, I did.
And your wife was there?
Yes.
Your baby was there?
Yes.
What time of day was it when you came home, approximately?
Approximately 12:45.
And did you leave the baby with your mother then?
Yes, I did.
And what's her name?
Roberta Raines.
And does she live at the same address that you do?
Yes, she does.
In a different apartment, though?
A different apartment.
And what's her apartment?
Just 429 Northeast Street.
Okay. And did you and your wife take your son to her and ask her to watch the child?
My wife did. I just picked Tabitha up.
Okay. And you took Tabitha to school?
To her GED class.
And didn't you tell me when I first talked with you the other day that was on Ash Street?
Yes, it was.
The old school, is that correct?
Correct.
Once you dropped her off there, is that the last time you saw her?
That is the last time I seen her.
Okay. When you dropped her off, did you go back home?
No.
Where did you go?
I went straight to school.
And was that in Indianapolis, Indiana?
Yes, that was.
And what time did you get out of school that night?
9:45.
Once you completed your classes at 9:45 on that night, did you drive to Tipton?
Yes, I did.
What were you driving?
My 97 Ford Ranger.
And did you go straight to your home?
Yes, I did.
What happened once you arrived at your address here in the city of Tipton?
I noticed that Tabitha wasn't home and...
Now, when you say you noticed, how did you notice that she wasn't home?
I went in and, the first thing I noticed that MTV wasn't on, but it was another channel.
And you told me the other day you thought that was the baseball game. Is that correct?
Yes, it was a baseball game.
Was the front door locked?
Yes, it was.
Is it common that she locked the door when you were at work?
It is common that she'd have the door locked and then she'd unlock it, approximately when I got home.
Okay. So she wasn't there when you got home at what time again?
I got home about 10:40 that night.
Okay. Once she wasn't there, you checked the house, apparently, and she wasn't there?
I checked the whole house.
And she wasn't there?
She was not.
Did it appear that anyone else had been there with her?
Yes.
Why?
There was an empty pack of Newports.
Does your wife smoke?
Yes, she does.
And does she smoke Newport?
No.
Do you know who smokes Newports?
No.
Anything else there?
I didn't see anything unusual.
Did you see any indication that someone might have done any drugs or anything like that?
Inaudible.
Smell any odor or anything?
No.
Okay, then what did you do once you decided that your wife wasn't at the residence?
I left my house and went around to my mother's.
And that's Roberta's?
That is Roberta's. And I asked her if she knew where Tabitha was.
And what did she tell you?
She told me that Tabitha had dropped Drake off to go be with Amanda Pratt at the hospital because they didn't think Amanda's grandmother, would make it through the night.
Okay, and when did she ask? So she asked your wife asked your mother if she would watch the child for her, is that correct?
That is correct.
Did she say what time of night that was when she asked for that request?
Roberta said it was about 6:30.
Did she say where Amanda was?
No.
At the time, did she say who was waiting for her?
She said that Kyle Neff was waiting for her.
And do you know Kyle Neff?
Yes, I do.
And how long have you known Kyle Neff?
About 2.5, maybe 3 years.
Okay. Is he a personal friend?
Yes.
Is his girlfriend or is it his wife?
It is his fiancée.
And her name is?
Amanda Pratt.
And have you known her for the same length of time?
I've known her since 6th grade.
Okay. Did your mother tell you who your wife said she was leaving with? Who was waiting for her?
Yes, she said that, she was leaving with Kyle Neff.
Okay. Did your mother tell you whether or not she saw any vehicles?
She told me that she hadn't.
Did she tell you whether or not she heard anything, any cars leave, or anything leave the area?
She didn't hear anything.
Okay. Did there come a point after the disappearance of your wife that you personally spoke with Kyle Neff?
Yes, I spoke to him personally, Thursday.
And how did you?
At approximately 1.
And where did you speak to him at?
At his home.
Did you go to his home?
Yes, I did.
Did you ask him the whereabouts of your wife?
Yes, I did.
Was his girlfriend, was she Amanda, was she there?
Yes, she was.
Was anyone else there?
Their son.
Okay. No other adults, though?
No.
What was his answer to you when you asked if he had picked your wife up?
He had said that he had taken Tabitha to drop my son off at my mother's.
Where did he say he met Tabitha at?
He didn't say.
Okay, but he told you he drove. He went and did take Tabitha home?
Yes, he did.
For the purpose of dropping, did Amanda say whether or not she was there?
No, Amanda said that she hadn't seen her.
Okay, but Amanda heard Kyle Neff say that he took your wife home.
Yes.
And did he confirm on the time as to when he dropped her off?
No, he didn't say a time.
Okay, so Kyle Neff told you face to face that he in fact did take your wife and your child to your residence and drop your child off at your mother's. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Did Kyle Neff tell you that he then left with your wife?
Yes, he did.
And what did he tell you about that?
He said he had taken her uptown Tipton to the VP for the sake that she was meeting somebody.
And did he tell you who she was meeting?
He said he didn't know who.
He didn't know who she was meeting?
No.
Did he tell you he brought to the village pantry and dropped her off?
Yes, he did.
And what time did he tell you he dropped her off?
He didn't specify that.
And this is all on Thursday that he told that he'd done that. Is that correct?
Thursday. Yes.
Did he say whether it was male or whether it was female?
He thought it was female. He mentioned, in his word, a dyke.
A dyke. Okay. Not trying to put any names in your head, but did he ever say the name Elizabeth?
No.
Did he ever say the name Balzer?
No.
Do you know Elizabeth Balzer?
Yes, I do.
How do you know Elizabeth Balzer?
I met Elizabeth through some of my other friends in years past.
Do you know Elizabeth Balzer to be a lesbian?
Yes, I do.
How do you know Elizabeth Balzer to be a lesbian?
She has told me herself.
Had she ever told your wife?
Yes, she has.
Has she ever made passes at your wife?
No.
I also told you that prior to this tape being turned on, that there would be some questions that might be tough to ask, but I needed full answers and for you to be straightforward with us. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Is your wife straight?
Yes, she is.
Has she ever had any encounters with any female?
No.
In regards to Kyle Neff and his wife, it is my understanding that you told me that you and Kyle Neff and Amanda used to be tight, along with your wife, and you used to go to shows and you used to party some together. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And when we spoke the other day, you told me that you'd done drugs with Kyle Neff along with your wife. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Was your wife a heavy drinker?
No.
And we spoke about that the other day. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And you told me that she couldn't handle it very well. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Did you also tell me that your wife and you did some other drugs with Kyle Neff and his girlfriend?
That is correct.
And that was done at your home as well as their home. Is that correct?
That is correct.
What type of drugs did you tell me the other day that Kyle Neff, your wife, his fiance, do at your home?
Smoked marijuana together and partaken in lines of cocaine.
And did you also tell me that you had done pills?
Yes.
Have you done cocaine, marijuana, and pills at Kyle Neff's residence?
Yes.
How many occasions do you believe, or is it too many or too numerous that you can't tell me exactly, but have you done drugs with and done cocaine and pills with Kyle Neff and your wife and his girl, fiance? On how many occasions would you say?
The cocaine, I can honestly say it was only once. The marijuana, probably about 30 times.
30 times.
The pills, maybe twice.
Okay. Has Kyle Neff ever done something out of the way that you didn't like in regards to your wife?
No.
Any advances, sexual?
No.
What was the fight over that occurred 2 months ago? Because you told me the other day you thought it was about 2 months ago when you guys had the fight.
That is correct.
What kind of fight would you guys have that would be so serious that you broke it off completely for 2 months?
I don't know.
Well, you weren't in the fight?
I don't really know what happened.
Well, there had to be something.
I don't know. I don't.
Well, who broke it off? Neff or you?
I think it was between Amanda and Tabby is why.
Amanda and Tabby.
Yeah, I think they just had, a girl, dispute, and they just wouldn't,
All right.
get over it.
If I told you that I've already interviewed or spoke with Kyle Neff, and I spoke with Amanda, and they told me that the reason that the break-off was because of the fact that your wife had told Amanda that she wanted to split Kyle Neff and his girlfriend up so that she could go to bed with him. Did that ever happen?
Not that I'm aware of.
Could it have happened? Could that be what the fight was over?
I guess it's a possibility.
Well, did your wife ever tell you anything like that?
No, she never told me anything like that.
Okay. If they stated to me that she had mentioned to Amanda, meaning Tabitha, that she would like to do a threesome, meaning your wife, Amanda, and Kyle Neff, do you believe that could have ever been? Could Ben ever said or could happen?
Yes, she had told me something like that before.
Your wife did?
Yes, she did.
Did she say she wanted to do that?
She said she had thought about, but she didn't think she'd actually be able to do it.
But did she ask if it was okay if she did it?
At least 4 months ago.
Could it have been close to the time? If they told me that was the reason that the separation took place, could it be because of that?
Possibly.
Well, I need you to, again, your wife is dead, correct?
That is correct.
And we need your truthfulness in everything.
She had asked me what I thought about it, and I told her, I'd have to think about, I didn't really see it ever happening, because like I mentioned before, Tabitha hasn't ever had an encounter with a girl.
That you know of.
That I know of. And that I didn't think that Tabby would be able to go through with it. And she had told me she didn't think she'd go through with it.
Who asked? Who asked to do it, though?
Tabitha and Amanda had. Pretty much joked about it for a while.
And discussed it?
Yeah.
And both said they wanted to try it?
They thought about it.
Have they said that inaudible with you more than once?
More than once.
Even right up to the break-off time?
Pretty much, yes.
Okay. I appreciate your cooperation and your truthfulness in regards to that. Now, there's some other things that I need to ask. Did someone have some drugs ripped off?
Inaudible.
Yes.
I know everybody that's had inaudible ripped off.
Okay, but did Kyle Neff have something come up missing that he accused you and your wife for being responsible?
Not that I'm aware of.
You never had words with him about something missing?
No.
Did she tell you? Did he tell you he had anything missing?
No.
Have you heard anything? Have you heard anything about Kyle Neff having some cocaine or doing a bad drug deal and some people after him?
Yes, I have.
Tell me what you've heard about that.
I've heard that Kyle had stolen, I believe they told me it was $2,000 worth of cocaine, and that whoever he stole off of wanted his money, or that he'd come after Kyle's wife and son.
And it's important. Did Kyle Neff tell you about that?
No.
Who told you that?
I believe that it was Tabitha's stepfather.
Tabitha's stepfather.
I think that's who told me.
When did he tell you that?
Yesterday.
So he told you after your wife disappeared?
Yes.
Okay, but you don't know for a fact that Kyle Neff stole any drugs from anybody?
I don't know for a fact that he stole anything.
From anyone?
From anyone.
Okay. Have you ever had sexual intercourse or done anything with Kyle Neff's fiance?
No, I have not.
Even when you guys were wasted, high, doped up, whatever, has anyone had any sexual contact amongst the four of you that went beyond what should have went? You were at one of these houses.
I believe that Tabitha and Amanda had kissed once.
You saw this?
Yes.
And where was that at?
At Amanda and Kyle's.
In front of the two guys?
In front of me and Kyle.
And did Kyle say anything about it?
Kyle didn't say anything.
But your wife told you that she would like to do a threesome with Kyle Neff and Amanda. Is that correct?
That is correct.
But as far as you knew, it never did happen.
As far as I know.
It never did happen. Is that correct?
It never did.
Have Kyle Neff and you ever had a physical conversation of any kind? Confrontation of any kind?
No, we have not.
Were punches ever through?
No.
At this point, right now, if we were to obtain a search warrant, or would you give us consent to search your house?
Yes, I would.
Is there any pills in there?
Just...
Illegal?
Not illegal, no.
They're yours?
Yes.
And what kind is that?
Have basic over-the-counter headache medicine. I believe there is some penicillin in there. Is prescribed. I had some anti-inflammatory prescribed to me.
Any marijuana?
No.
Any cocaine?
No.
Any crystal meth?
No.
Have you ever done meth?
No.
Has your wife ever done meth that you know of?
Not that I know of.
Do you own a ball bat?
No, I don't.
Have you ever struck your wife?
No, I haven't.
When approximately 2 months ago, you and her had problems. Is that correct?
That is correct.
What was those problems over?
Financial, stress.
Did you get into a bad fight? Pushing?
No.
Shoving?
No touching.
Have you ever struck her?
No, I have not.
Have you ever threatened her life?
No, I have not.
Do you own a knife?
A 3-inch razorback.
And where is that knife at now?
With my stepfather.
And why is it with your stepfather?
Inaudible. And
what's his name?
Jeff Souders.
When did you give it to him?
Today.
Why did you give him a knife today?
Because, I had it with me. I was out searching for Tabitha today.
And you were afraid you would use it?
I wasn't sure what I'd run into if, I'd come across somebody who might have felt threatened.
Did you have a gun with you?
No, I did not.
Do you own a gun?
A BB gun.
Do you own a rifle?
No, I don't.
Do you own a shotgun?
No, I don't.
BB gun only?
BB gun only.
This knife, describe it to me.
It's got a brown handle, brass rivets. It looks like half a spearhead.
Inaudible. Who were you going out to look for?
I was going out to look for Tabitha.
And who else?
Just Tabitha.
But if you had to use the weapon against somebody, you would use it?
I'd defend myself.
If somebody...
I had my walking stick on me, and I'd use that first. And if they pulled something on me...
When's the last time you were in Kyle Neff's home?
Thursday.
When you were in H.O. in his home Thursday, did you smoke and dope with him?
No, I did not.
Did he offer you any?
No.
Did he threaten you in any way?
No, he didn't.
Was he mad about the fact that people were bringing his name up as being with your wife?
He, hadn't heard that people were accusing him of anything yet, so he had been aware that his name had been brought up, but it was just like he had been with her.
So, do you feel that he was being truthful with you about the fact that he drove your wife home?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
From the village pantry, correct?
No.
I mean, work. Did he drive her home from work?
I'm not sure.
Where he met her?
Wherever he met her.
He didn't say where he met her, though?
He did not specify.
He didn't say where he met her at then, right?
No.
Okay. Did you see any drugs in his house?
No, I didn't.
When you done drugs with Kyle Neff at his home, okay, was the drugs out in plain view?
Yes.
The cocaine?
No.
Where was it located?
Wherever he had it.
Did he go get it?
Inaudible.
And bring it into the room?
No.
It was already there?
No, he had brought it to my house the one time I did do it, and then that's the last I've seen of it.
You never did do any out there with him?
No.
Okay, so he brought the cocaine to your home.
Yes.
When you done the drugs at his home, okay, did you ever have any pills there?
We had ecstasy, and that's all the pills we had.
Did you do some of those pills?
Yes, I have.
Did your wife do some of those pills?
Yes.
Did you observe any weapons in his home? Did he have a knife?
No.
You never seen him with a knife of any kind?
Nope.
Did you ever see him with a ball bat?
No.
Did you ever see him with a hammer in his car?
No.
Did you ever see him with any guns?
No.
Does he own any guns?
Not that I'm aware of.
Does he own any knives?
Basic kitchen utensils.
But nothing that you're aware of?
Not that I'm aware of.
Do you know what kind of vehicle Kyle Neff drives now?
A mid-80s Honda Accord.
Okay. Does he own any other vehicles?
He has a crotch rocket.
Does his wife own any vehicles?
No, she doesn't.
Does she drive?
Yes, she does.
Okay. What? Just his vehicle?
The Honda.
Do you know where Kyle Neff works?
Yes, I do.
And where does he work at?
At Cheryl's Restaurant on 28th and 31st.
Does his wife work?
Yes, she does.
And where does she work at?
Cheryl's Restaurant at 28 and 31.
Okay. And what color is the car?
It is white.
White. Okay. When we spoke the last time, you and I both only spoke because we were hoping for the best. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And that was on Thursday morning. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Since then, we know that, we've got a victim and your wife is deceased. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And that was passed on to you by the chief of police. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Have you received any phone calls from anyone that has anything that you feel that Detective Stout and Detective Frawley must know that can assist in finding the person that is responsible for the death of your wife?
I have not received any phone calls with pertinent information.
Mike, I've got a question. If you could name someone, let me ask you this question. Did you do anything to cause the disappearance or the death of your wife?
No, I haven't.
If you could give the name of someone you thought might be responsible for that, who would that be? If you could think of somebody.
I couldn't think of anybody who would want to harm Tabitha.
By understanding that something's happened to her, okay, someone's responsible for that. You don't have any idea who might be for whatever reason. Who that might be for whatever reason.
I have no idea.
If you receive any calls or anything, any information in regards to this investigation, which the only reason I'm saying it this way is now it's out on the street about the death of your wife. Will you pick up the phone and contact the Tipton Police Department and or the Indiana State Police for Detective Stout or Detective Frawley and pass on the information to us?
Yes, I will.
Once this statement is transcribed, are you willing to read it over? And if it is true and accurate statement as to the fact given to us tonight, sign it for us?
Yes, I will.
Will you state your full name for me, please?
Michael Franklin Raines.
Again, were your rights read to you prior to this tape being turned on?
Yes, they were.
Have I or Detective Frawley in any way threatened, pressured, or coerced you in the coming to Tipton Police Department for the purpose of this interview?
No, you haven't.
We'll conclude this statement then at 11 p.m., same date, October 5th, 2002.